Morning, everyone. I am Thibaut Soulestin, a research engineer at Arkema. I've been working in the field of fluorinated electroactive polymers over the last 4 years, and I'm now dedicated in the business development of these materials in order to push new applications. So the brand name of these materials for Arkema Group is Piezotech. And I will dedicate this speech to applications, as you will have great talks later on processing and on also structure properties relationships of these materials. So first of all, a quick introduction of Arkema Group, a French leader and also world leader in high performance materials. So among Arkema high performance materials, you have PVDF homopolymer under the brand name of Kynar. And in 2010, Arkema decided to bought the company Piezotech, who was located in the northeast of France. And Piezotech at this time was producing PVDF piezoelectric films from stretch PVDF films, and also a little bit of copolymers and interpolymers. Arkema bought this company in order to redevelop co-interpolymers. So here we are talking about fluorinated electroactive polymers. So the fluorinated electroactive word means that these polymers are able to transform mechanical or thermal energy into electricity or electrical energy into mechanical or thermal energy in order to make sensors, actuators, haptic devices, energy harvesters, or also electrocaloric devices. So now the Piezotech activity is located in the south of Lyon on Arkema R&D Center, and I will detail also what this location on Arkema R&D Center is a very important asset for Piezotech developments. We now have two range of materials. The electroactive polymers are available as powder forms, white fine powders of high purity, and also this powder is formulated into different inks in order to address the printed electronics market, which is a growing market. When we are talking about electroactive polymers, electroactive is a very broad word, and it gathers many different key properties. One of the key properties of these materials is the piezoelectricity. So piezoelectricity is a linear relationships between deformation that generates an electrical signal, or the inverse piezoelectric effect is that you apply an electric field and you are going to generate a deformation. On the top left video, you see printed piezoelectric arrays on a PET foil, almost transparent, and you see when you bend the polymer foil, you're able to detect the bending thanks to the piezoelectric layer. On the top right video, you have an actuator video, so you have a multi-layer of piezoelectric polymers, electrode, piezoelectric polymer, electrode, And when you apply an alternative electric field, the polymer layer are able to contract and to give this actuation effect at the frequency of the electric field. Another effect that is also present in these electroactive polymers is the pyroelectric effect. So a temperature variation is going to generate charges, and it can help to make, for example, proximity sensors, as you see on the bottom video, with the heat of the hand, the difference between the heat of the hand and the polymer sensor sheet creates charges. A pseudo-reverse effect, not really the reverse one, is the electrocaloric. When you apply an electric field, you're going to create an entropy variation in the material that is going to generate temperature variations. And also, in the beginning of the 21st century, the terpolymers were developed, especially in the US, for their high dielectric permittivity properties, what are called high K properties, especially in order to develop high performance capacitors. And now these properties are still of very high interest, for example, for thin film transistors. So we have a large range of fluorinated electroactive polymers. As I said, the first one is PVDF. So PVDF homopolymer, it's a linear polymers with an alternative CH2, CF2, CH2, CF2 chain structures. You always have some defects, but let's stick this one. And this polymer is going to crystallize directly from the melt in a trans-Gauss conformation leading to an alpha phase. If you want to have the all trans conformations and the beta phase, this transformation will later give the piezoelectric properties because you have all the dipoles aligned in the same direction. You need stretching. So if you need stretching of a bare film, it means that you cannot print these films, and also these stretchings introduce let's say an instability of the film. So if you heat up a stretch PVDF films up to 80 degrees C, the film will shrink and you're going to lose the piezoelectric properties. So in the 80s, a new product was discovered. The copolymers of VDF and trifluoroethylene. So if you introduce between 20 to 50% of trifluoroethylene, the additional fluorine atom of trifluoroethylene will induce an electrostatic repulsion between this CHF unit and the CF2 adjacent unit of both VDF or trifluoroethylene, and you will have directly from the melt or from solution the all-trans conformation. So directly the good crystalline phase that will be able to give piezoelectric properties. In addition, these copolymers are much more soluble in a wide range of solvents compared to PVDF, especially non-toxic solvents. And almost 20 years later, beginning of the 21st century, a new range of products was discovered, the terpolymers. So the introduction of a specific third monomer, chloro-trifluoroethylene, or also you have the chlorofluoroethylene with two hydrogen atoms there. If you introduce about 8-10% of this third monomer, you're going to disrupt a little bit the all-trans conformation and create Gauss conformation, create nano domains that are going to change a little bit the electroactive properties without losing everything. So as you have seen, these materials are electroactive. They have very, very unique properties because if you have a look at other polymers, they are almost the only one with piezo, pyro, ferroelectric, relaxer ferroelectric, high K performances. But these materials are kind of old, the copolymers from the 80s, terpolymers from the beginning of the century. So now we think as Arkema there's a growing business for these polymers because you have new trends. The trend of organic electronics. So everyone has, for example, have heard about, organic photovoltaic cells. So organic electronics is a flexible electronics, printable one. Printed electronics enable large scale, low cost, low processing temperatures. Plastronic to make smart plastics, so sensors embedded, for example, into plastics. And the combination of new materials, new processing techniques, and also the need of new electronic devices, especially more and more sensors to have smart objects, are able to answer the trend of some emerging markets. For example, the wearables, smart clothes, IoT, which is the Internet of Things, connected objects that you will see more and more with the 5G, haptic devices to have better interaction and human interface of higher quality, and consumer electronics also, more and more electronics everywhere. So in order to answer that, Piezotech has a project inside Arkema has some key assets compared to other projects. First, Arkema is world leader on VDF and PVDF. So as you have seen, we are located in France, but we benefit from support of PVDF teams around the world, especially in Asia, where you have the growing business. And also, for example, in Japan, where because Japan is the historical country of the copolymers. Arkema is also fully integrated with monomer production. So on the Lyon site, we have both the production of the VDF fluorinated gas and the trifluoroethylene, who is also a kind of explosive monomer. And because Arkema is world leader in fluorinated gas, Arkema is able to manufacture at large volumes trifluoroethylene in order to ramp up the production of these electroactive polymers. Because these polymers are dedicated for the electronic business, we have developed a specific suspension process to avoid especially ionic impurities into the process. Otherwise, we will not be able to process good the copolymers and the terpolymers. We have some dedicated R&D facilities to make small-scale synthesis. Even if the product has been discovered for decades, there are still improvements to make to meet customer requirements. And we also benefit from decades of strong partnerships. Many partners are already attending this conference, and we are always happy to start new collaborations to develop and improve the materials. And as we are also an industrial company, in order to avoid all the knowledge to be transferred into competitors, everything is patented and protected. So now if we jump into more applications, the first one and the most advanced one is sensors. You can use one material, for example, the copolymer 8020, and then you can make a printed array of sensors. So the processing will probably be reviewed by Barbara later. So you have a polymer substrate, you're going to print a bottom electrode, then you're going to print the piezo layer, then print the top electrode, and there you have the array of sensors. The same array of sensors, depending on the electronics that you put, is able to detect temperature variations for proximity sensors. You can define also an XY plan defined by the electrodes, and you're able to detect the force that you apply on this array of sensors thanks to the piezoelectric effect. You have already seen also this bending video, where you have kind of a good resolution. And one of the key properties of the piezoelectric polymers that is going to make a key difference in many applications is their ability to detect vibrations, acoustic waves, ultrasounds. For example, at the beginning, PVDF has been highly used for submarines and ultrasound detections in the 90s. Here, for example, on this video, you have a metallic plate. Below the metallic plate, you have the piezoelectric flexible and highly sensible copolymer sensor. And when you touch the surface of this metallic part, you're able to detect the vibration that are produced by the pen. You see, when you tap, you detect the vibration of the pen. So very, very sensible sensors. So these sensors, if you want to use them industrially for real applications, as I said, one of the key advantages compared to PVDF homopolymer is the thermal stability. So many reliability tests have been performed on printed polymer sensors by partners, for example, Piezo-Flex from Uranium Research, but also by other industrial partners in order to control the reliability. So especially, let's say, stability in high humidity tests, so hot water, high humidity, high temperature, because also fluoropolymers are known for some addition issues. So when you print sensors, we do not meet these kind of issues. Also thermal shock cycling. So let's say it meets especially the automotive and consumer electronic standards. And PVDF is not able to meet this kind of standard, especially due to a temperature limit of 80 degrees Celsius. Also, these materials, they are very interesting because compared to inorganic piezoelectric ceramics, they have some key advantages. You can think they are expensive, but they are still low cost compared to PZT, especially the fabrication process. With printed electronics, low temperature, you're able to have a low cost fabrication and also a very versatile one. You can change easily the shape. Printable, you can also, for example, print on green substrate like paper, recyclable paper. So of course the functional inks will be difficult to recycle, but the heavy part of the device, which is the substrate, can be paper and can be recycled. It can be transparent, but one of the drawbacks is still, compared to ceramics, the low curie temperature. So orcopolymer can be used up to 120, and which is kind of low for other applications. So here, as I mentioned, the acoustic vibration detection is the most important application. On this video, you see a smart floor. Into this smart floor, you have an array of piezoelectric sensors. You can see on the video there that we can detect the steps. And this array of sensors, of acoustic sensors that are able to detect the vibration from the steps is so sensible that if the colleague from UNM Research sleeps on the floor, we could be able to monitor heartbeats and also breath. You can see also on the bottom image remote and wireless heartbeat sensors on the wrist with piezoelectric polymer and Bluetooth transmission of the data. And that this one was powered by a battery, but it could be also possible to make battery-less sensors. Two industrial applications are, for example, this one, to make ultrasound fingerprint sensors under display. So how does it work? That the ultrasound is generated by the sensor under the display, is going to bounce on the fingerprint, detect the ridges and valley, and by the difference of time, you're able to have the image of the fingerprint. So this is used, for example, in some very recent Samsung S20, S21 phones for under-display fingerprint sensor. Disco polymers make also very unique microphones for especially for guitars, because they have a very, very flat answer on a large range of frequencies. It means that if you play a note at, 500 Hertz and another one at 15 kilohertz, you will have the same answer of the piezoelectric sensor, so you will have a very good sound detection. Also a combination, a new trend is that this kind of very sensible piezoelectric sensors can be combined with new data processing techniques. And this kind of new data processing techniques can enable to have in-depth analysis of what is going on into a device. For example, for application into structural health monitoring to detect how a structure behaves. Here it is exemplified by UNM Research. On a coffee machine, you have a piezoelectric sensor on the side, and this sensor is listening to what the coffee machine is doing, and by deep learning, you're able to know if the coffee machine is preparing the coffee, grinding the grains, or brewing the coffee. And because you can make arrays of sensors, you can also detect, for example, a damage onto a composite by generating an acoustic wave onto the surface and detect the difference in wave propagation with the other sensors. Other applications are haptic devices. So for that, we are collaborating with a company called Novacentis Chemect. Haptic is the ability to generate touch feedback on surfaces. So the more you vibrate, depending on the vibration, you're able to have a different feedback. And Novacentis is developing this kind of very small actuator that you could put on a watch, or you could put especially in VR gloves where each finger will have individual, flexible, and high performance haptic devices. So they are under industrialization, and we hope to see products into the market, let's say in the next 2 to 3 years. One also very important and increasing field is energy harvesting, because we need to harvest and to save energy, to save a lot of energy, so we need to harvest energy from new sources. And there has been also a lot of European call on that to support the developments. So piezoelectric, because you can use, they will not generate a lot of power, but you can use a new source, especially deformations, vibrations. So been demonstrated based on some work of a multi-layer energy harvester with copolymer sensors that you could harvest a temperature sensors that is going to transfer the data via an NFC chip. So for example, you have a vibrating system. You're going to accumulate the energy from the piezoelectric layer, and then this energy will be able to power a temperature sensors and power an NFC chip to transfer the temperature. So if you need, you have the reference of the article below. One last application, and also let's say more long-term, but kind of an amazing one, is the electrocaloric application. So the electrocaloric, what is it? Is that when you apply an electric field, you're going onto the terpolymer, so not the copolymer, but relaxor terpolymer, especially CFE ones. You're going to orientate the dipoles. So when you're oriented to the dipoles, what is going on? It is highlighted in a small video on the bottom. So at zero electric field, the terpolymer layer is at room temperature. When you're going to apply an electric field, you're going to align the dipoles. So when you're going to align the dipoles, you're going to decrease the entropy. So you're going to release heat. So the terpolymer layer will heat up. Then the heat will be released into the air. Then you keep the electric field, and when you remove the electric field, you're going to increase the entropy into the polymer, because all the dipoles will be in the random position. So the temperature of the terpolymer layer will go down and then go back to room temperature because it will absorb the energy from the air. So this has been used in 2017 already by a UCLA team in order to cool a battery, and they combine the electrocaloric effect with the actuator effect. So the terpolymer layer with this kind of S shape is able to move from a heat sink to a heat source, and then after, because you have the electrocaloric effect, to transfer the heat from the heat source to the heat sink, and they have been able to cool down from more than 10 degrees a small battery in a few seconds. And this work shows very high specific cooling power, amazing one, and there are still a lot of research on these materials. So in this presentation, I have tried to summarize some applications of these fluorinated electroactive polymers. Not all the potential applications were listed. I have tried to select a few ones, especially the industrial ones with microphones, with ultrasound sensors, and also smart surfaces. And if you have more questions, I will be very glad to answer them. And do not hesitate to visit the Piezotech website. Thanks for your attention.